Welcome everyone, this is Planet Needles and you're listening to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Draculita.
Hey now everybody, how's it going?
Hello Drek, is everything going fine in Barovia? Oh, too many adventurers coming in and making it hard to live?
That's right. Darn adventurers. It's been a week. I'll just say that.
It's been a week. All right. Then let's see what has been happening during that week in the world of DDO. So let's begin with one of the reasons why so many more adventures have been coming in, because Mists of Ravenloft is now available in the DDO Store.
That is right. They said it would happen in March, and it's March, and it happened. So there you go. That's right. You can now buy the Mr. Ravenloft expansion pack in the DDO store with your DDO points if you wish. The ASMR race will run you $13.95. The Mist of Ravenloft expansion itself will run you $24.95. And the Scourge of the Undead Iconic ASMR is $12.95. So if you've been saving up DDO points for Ravenloft, go now.
Move now. And now that was, of course, the update of the past. So now let's have an update of the future. And those are for update 38, where there will be some balance changes. And what's the latest iteration?
R.I.P. monks. R.I.P.
What? What's wrong with monks?
This is the monk nerf.
The monk nerf. You mean
monks, we hardly knew ya.
So you mean the class that I was completely unable to do anything with has now become even more unlikely I could do anything with it?
Yeah, pretty much. Over in the forum, Steel Star posted a thread called U38 Balance Changes. What an appropriate title. And he says, hey, Steel Star here. I'm here today to talk about a few upcoming changes you'll be seeing in Update 38's first Lamania, currently targeted for next week. And of course, this was posted on the 6th. So Lamania is supposed to be up, as you hear this podcast, this week at some point. Steel Star goes on to say, we've put quite a bit of time lately into gathering DPS data. This is in part to evaluate where builds are when are on an even footing, to find outliers, both high and low, evaluate why they're outliers, and bring those in as necessary.
Okay, I could hear that. Sounds like a preamble to a nerf if I've ever heard one.
Exactly. So I was about to say, that is nerf speak, folks. This, in turn, will allow us to better balance groups. Nerf. We can better make overall melee build buffs if we don't have 1 to 2 builds doing triple the damage of the other 98% of the melee builds. We'll talk a little about our test and then outline the changes coming. So
okay. This sounds like then that based on the damage I was doing before, this can't be affecting my build all that much.
Apparently you had a weird monk build, my friend. A weird monk build.
Well, you gotta admit, I've never been into trying to squeeze every single point of damage out of a character. You know that by now.
Well, that's very true. So Steel Star says they basically tested this way, testing an extensive number of builds, over 40. In terms of DPS, a pure 20 monk using Headwraps with most of its points in Shinto and the rest Henshin did significantly, unequivocally more damage than any other build we tested. It was not even close. More than 30% above anyone else. Far below that, the number 2 build had most of its levels in monk. The number 3 build was another pure monk, and the number 4 build was a significant number of monk levels as well. So, with their testing they have come up with this. Headwraps. You likely have seen some threads about the new duality. The duality is the raid Headwraps that will drop from Ravenloft. We'd initially given the Ravenloft Headwraps damage dice akin to two-handed weapons in the rest of the Ravenloft pack. We had some reasons for it at the time, but we missed the mark on this one, especially with Headwraps benefiting disproportionately well from the increase in internal damage dice. We're planning on dropping their dice from 1d6 plus 6 to 1d6 plus 3. In addition, the legendary Morning Load and Night Mother Headwraps will drop from 1d6 plus 4 to 1d6 plus 2. Duality will still be the strongest Headwrap, and likely stronger than most of the other weapons out there, but not by as much. The Henshin Mystic currently gets 75 melee power in its tree. This is a lot more than any other tree gets, and that is pretty evenly distributed throughout its cores. We're of the opinion that this makes both pure monks and monk splashes disproportionately strong, especially given the other benefits of being a monk, and are planning to alter it from 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 25 to 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 15. Yeah, exactly.
So
Nerf says what? Yeah. So yeah, R.I.P. monks. Yeah, and you can probably guess the response this got on the forums.
Oh yeah. So that means then that my hybrid monk warlock has been nerfed twice.
Oh, that's right. That's true. You got the double nerf bat, sir.
Oh boy, that character's never going to reach 20.
Yeah, so there you go. So if you're running a monk build, sorry about that. It'll be interesting to see actually what they end up doing. And they're also making some other changes to some of the core trees as well. You can go over on the forum thread and read that. I'm not going to read them all. There's quite a bit. But yeah, the TLDR version, monks are getting nerfed.
Right. I guess someday I'll double check to see what kind of monk build I have. Now then, let's head into our next thing, where there have been changes in the DDO.com site, and they made similar changes also over at the Lotro.com site, so therefore they're working on both of them at the same time probably.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if they did. I didn't actually go over and check Lotro, so I was going to ask if that changed, but I kind of assumed it did. Yeah, this is mainly cosmetics. Cordovan posted over on the forums about this. The community rules have been migrated to the DDO forums. You can access them from the top tab row of the forums now, in addition to the forum categories at the top of the forum list. And there's a link straight to them if you would like to read them in the post he put up. And also, the DDO logo has been updated. They are using the newest logo they've been using for quite a while. And I'll be honest, I never noticed over on the forums that the logo was never updated until he pointed that out, that they updated the logo. I guess I don't pay attention to cosmetic stuff as much as I should. Also, they have streamlined the old media tab to the news tab, and that is the only section being updated regularly anyway, says, and old links will remain active. However, they've also removed some of the most outdated information in the game section and moved the to be a VIP section into the game tab section, which that makes sense. The community tab has been renamed the forums and will now directly take you to the forums. We've removed the need for the drop down here, and that
Thank goodness.
Yeah, that's going to help with mobile browsers as well. So if you browse from your phone a lot, it's a lot easier to get to the forums now. And I've moved the community rules as stated above. The store tab has also been removed, and that has been replaced with a DDO market tab since, of course, there's really nothing to show on there anymore. That's usually where they showed store sales, and they haven't done that for a while. So now that is just a market link. So if you want to go to the DDO market and pay your real cash for stuff, there's a quick link to it. And the download and play for free tabs will remain unchanged. He also says in the future they will be working to update the content of outdated pages and make some other changes to make the website more friendly to a wider variety of devices. So it's the little things, I guess.
The little things. Then let's head into our DDO Chronicle issue 274, where it seems to be a little bit ruined in this place.
You don't know what quest that's from?
Let's see. This looks like it could be the winery.
Nope.
It's not the winery.
It's before that.
Or the winery. Oh, hold on. There is the one where you have the dragon that was killed, and
you're getting warmer.
Yeah, and the silver dragon that's been killed, and you have all these fanatics guarding it, getting warmer. That means that's not it.
No, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. That is the quest. Oath of Vengeance. That's the name of it.
Oath of Vengeance. Okay, that makes sense.
The one with that silly light puzzle.
Well, that's right. That's how you count pain, by how many puzzles
exactly,
there are.
That's right. Is there a puzzle in the quest? Yes, check. Okay. Yes, so that's where that is from. That's a pretty cool shot, actually. That's a shot that we could never get, because I do believe they're flying to get that shot. The dev magic that they have.
No wonder I had trouble remembering it.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird angle that shot, but cool screenshot nonetheless. And then in our community spotlights, Mops Entertainment is pondering a theoretical DDO expansion. So click over to read the blog post and see the theoretical expansion.
Theoretical expansion?
Yes. He came up with an idea for an hypothetical expansion, and he lays out what the expansion would be, what the quest in the expansion would be, what the raids would be, what the storyline would be. It's actually pretty well thought out and well put together, actually. He took some time to actually put it together and lay it out. So it's worth a good read. So go check that out. Once again, that's from Mops Entertainment, where he talks about a hypothetical DDO expansion. There's no news. We're not getting a new expansion. This is just an
hypothetical.
A hypothetical idea somebody had for an expansion. And it actually sounds really cool. So take the time to read that. Fumbles and Fame is streaming DDO in addition to some pen and paper gaming regularly over on his Twitch channel. So click over and check that out. There's some dude named Dracula. I have no idea who he is. He's streaming DDO on Twitch as well, apparently.
Strange thing. Yeah,
rumor has it.
I heard a rumor. Yes, I also heard a rumor that Pine Leaf was with them also. Whoever that is.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
I have to check that video out and see if that rumor proves to be true.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm streaming now. I finally got my issues worked out. I had some issues with streaming, and I finally figured out what the problem was, and everything seems to be working well, so I should be streaming more regularly now, hopefully. Not just DDO, other games as well. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But okay. I did get linked in the Chronicle, so there you go. Let's move to the fan site news section. DDO Cast is talking about part 2 of their Curse of Strahd strategy guide. Click over and give that a watch or a listen. The damsels of DDO got an invitation to dinner and tortured me in Ravenloft. You can click over to watch the video and also to see the show if you would like.
Now, why does Cordovan say that DDO Players News tortures the damsels?
Yeah, I'm not sure why. That should be the other way around. The damsels tortured us. Yeah. I saw that and I laughed. I'm like, that's funny. So yeah, we did get a shout out for our last episode as well. A very bad guild has a small problem. Click over to see what that is. Hint, hint, it may involve a quest. City writes about the DDO user experience in a new blog post over on his post. Evil Squeegee, which I love that name, and his friends recently streamed DDO on his 3,000 follow Twitch channel. So click over and watch that. But please note, there is some unfamily-friendly explicit language in that podcast. So it is not Pine Leaf friendly.
Not Pine Leaf friendly. Okay, then I will avoid it.
Very good podcast and Twitch stream, and very funny though. I enjoyed watching it, but yes, there is some blue languages, I like to say. Sip is also partying hard in the Anniversary Dungeon. Click over to read his thoughts on the Anniversary Dungeon. Band VP gets a case of troglodytes. I hate when that happens. Mickey is continuing her rating talk in a new blog post. It's Good to Be King is seeing Who's King. And Brighter Days Ahead tonight will stream every Thursday evening on Twitch. Click here for the latest show. As I said, it is great to see how many people are streaming DDO on Twitch. I just checked the other night at like a random time. I just searched for Dungeons & Dragons Online on Twitch, and there was like 10 people streaming DDO. It was amazing. So if you want to watch some DDO, just go over to Twitch and you can probably find somebody. And of course, we have our Chronicle comment of the week. DDO has iron, clay, stone, and other golems, but what kind of golem should DDO have?
I was thinking that we could use a silver golem so that we could have one with us when we go on to things against werewolves.
Ooh, that's a really good idea, actually. I like that idea. And Gumsgang in the chat is saying bacon golems.
Bacon golems.
I approve.
So that means they're going to start selling bacon golems in the DDO store.
I'd buy one.
Okay. Then are you going to wait for them to be on sale?
Maybe.
What's on sale this week, though?
Well, we have 30% off Astral Shards. As I say, now is the time to buy Astral Shards. If you're going to buy them, get them when they're on sale. Guild Renown Elixirs, also at 30% off. We've got 50% off the Guild Charters and the Guild Airship Beacon. And our free sample of the week is a lasting potion of resist fire. That is a plus 10 to your fire resistance with the coupon code RESFIRE, 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 and that code will last now through March the 15th.
Then let's see what's coming in from the dungeon, and it looks like that Pathfinder is getting a second edition.
It only took a decade, but yes, Pathfinder second edition is coming. Not soon, but it's coming.
We don't know when yet then.
Right. They haven't really set a date for it. There will be an open play test for all of the rules and everything kicking off on August the 2nd. So hint, hint, probably a Gen Con. They didn't say that, but it just so happens that is the date that Gen Con starts. So I have a gut feeling the playtest of Pathfinder 2nd edition will be a Gen Con. Just going out on a limb and going to say that. The playtest rulebook, they did say, will come with a cheat sheet, and that's going to help players understand some of the differences between the first edition of Pathfinder and the second edition of Pathfinder. And after the official release, Paizo did state that they're going to provide information for using first edition material within the second edition.
That'll be useful.
Yeah, that is always good to see. So at least, you're not going to have to go out and buy everything new. You should be able to convert stuff, which would make sense. I'm sure there'd be a lot of ticked off people if they didn't do that. That Paizo didn't talk a lot about what was going on. They did this in a live stream that they did. They made this announcement. All they really said was it was going to introduce 10th level spells. They're going to streamline proficiencies in your actions. Also going to introduce goblins as a playable character, which a lot of people got excited about, and rebalance some magic items. And they're going to have a new form of initiative, which they didn't really say what it was, but I guess they're going to change the way initiative works, and they're going to change some other little tweaks to feats and races. But for those Pathfinder players that were clamoring for a new edition, coming soon-ish, maybe, at least a playtest on August 2nd, Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
10th level spells.
I'm not a big Pathfinder person, so, I played Pathfinder a few times, but I don't know. I just never really got into it for some reason.
I've never played it, so.
If you've liked 3.5 D&D, that's what it is, because that's what, or at least first edition, that's what it's based off of. So there's no reason why I shouldn't like it. It's just, I don't know. There was just something about it that I was just kind of, this is all right. I mean, I've played it a few times. I have a couple friends that play it a lot and like it, but I was just like, it's all right.
Why not just play 3.5? Right?
Exactly. That's what I said. I'm like, why don't we just play D&D 3.5? I don't know. To each their own. I'm not saying anything bad about it. Like I said, I'm just not a big fan. But I know there's a lot of people that love Pathfinder, and at Gen Con every year, the Pathfinder room in the Sagamore Ballroom is packed out throughout the whole Gen Con. There's people in there pretty much around the clock playing Pathfinder, so it has its fans.
Then let's go and see what's on the tabletop, and we'll begin with the table itself because Games Workshop is teaming up with the Table of Ultimate Gaming.
That is right. If you ever wanted to have a Games Workshop themed gaming table, now is your chance. That is right. If you're a big Warhammer 40K fan, you can get official Warhammer 40K graphics on your gaming table if you buy your gaming table from the Table of Ultimate Gaming. They have announced they are teaming up, and they are going to have tables that are Warhammer 40K and the Age of Sigmar, and that is going to be integrated on the play surface and on the graphics on the side of the table and on the legs as well.
And I will presume that this will come with a Warhammer 40K price too.
I would assume they're going to be a little more than what the Table of Ultimate Gaming tables are priced at, just because of the Warhammer Games Workshop name on them. They didn't really say pricing. They are going to be available to be seen at the upcoming Warhammer Fest, which is March 12th and 13th. If you find yourself in Coventry, UK, or you can go over to the ultimategametable.com and see them and pre-order them as well. They should be out later this summer. And Table of Ultimate Gaming makes nice gaming tables. I don't know if I'd really want a Warhammer table. I'm not that into Warhammer, but I guess...
I think I will pass on that.
I guess if you're a big Warhammer fan, there you go. So yeah, apparently people ask about that, and they made it happen. They signed a deal with Games Workshop.
Well, then let's look towards the fall of 2018, where Privateer Press will be bringing back Monster Apocalypse.
I remember when Monster Apocalypse came out. It was at Gen Con 2008. That was like the big game of that Gen Con. There was long lines. They sold out every day. People wanted the game. People were excited about the game. And then everybody just forgot about it, and Privateer Press dropped it.
It was hot. It was hot for a weekend.
Pretty much. It was hot for about Gen Con, and then that was about it, I think. Well, no, it took a little longer than that, but yeah, it kind of just disappeared. So this news was kind of out of the blue, actually. I don't think anybody knew this was coming, but yeah, Privateer Press is going to bring it back, and if you're not familiar with Monster Apocalypse, it's a kaiju giant monster fighting game, basically, where you destroy cities and you destroy the other monsters. And it came with pre-printed minis, but the deal was you just bought blind boxes, and some of the minis were more rare than the others. So
not that.
Yeah.
That setup.
Yeah, that was the setup. But they are changing that for this new version that is coming out. The minis are the models, I should say. I guess they're not minis because some of them are pretty decent sized. The models are no longer pre-assembled, are pre-painted, and you're not going to be buying them in blind boxes anymore. Instead, you are going to purchase the models that you want, and then you will assemble, customize, and paint them to your liking. And Privateer Press did say they have plans to have an organized play system for this as well, but you can look for the new version of Monster Apocalypse coming in the fall of 2018. So you don't have to wait long to get your giant monster killing robot fighting on.
We can't just play King of Tokyo?
Sure, you could do that too. Not really the same, but kind of, sort of. Or you could play Kaiju Crush by Fireside Games. That would kind of get you the whole monster fighting thing too. But
And WizKids has announced that Mage Knight, the board game, Ultimate Edition.
That's right, the Ultimate Edition
The
pilot.
Ultimate Edition. Does that mean there will be no more editions after this?
Probably not. If it sells well, I'm sure that there will be more.
Then they'll change the name to the Penultimate Edition so there can be another one after it.
Maybe. You might want to get a hold of their marketing department about that. The Ultimate Edition of Mage Knight is going to feature the base game plus all 3 expansions in one giant, huge, crazy box. Yeah, I'm sure that box is going to be huge. And I never played Mage Knight. I know a lot of people got into Mage Knight, and this announcement came out, and a lot of people lost their minds. They were really excited about this. And then I went and looked what the original Mage Knight box is selling for, and I can see why people are excited about this new version.
You mean it's the original box is selling for a lot more than $125?
Oh, yeah. It's like the cheapest one I found was like $350. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the as you mentioned, the MSRP of this new Ultimate Edition will be $124.99. So a little pro tip for you: don't pay $300 for Mage Knight. Just wait a little bit longer. September of 2018, you can buy this Ultimate Edition with all the expansions for $125.
And it'll be published in English, Spanish, Polish, Czech, German, Russian, Korean, and Portuguese. So apparently the French don't like playing Mage Knight.
And Italian. They're also doing Italian, too.
They're doing Italian? Okay.
And Italian.
Traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, and Italian. Okay.
That's a lot of additions.
That's a lot of additions.
But as I said, there's a lot of people that like Mage Knight. I've never played it. It sounds like something I would like because it's a dungeon crawling type game.
I know that one person who was just recently doing his top 10 adventure type games.
Uh-huh.
I think he scored Mage Knight. I think is either 1 or 2 in that list. And when he was doing it, he distinguished the adventure games as a separate category from the dungeon crawls. So therefore, he doesn't consider it to be complete. But I sort of got the impression that he thinks that an adventure game has a little bit more to it than just combat.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Okay.
I've not played Mage Knight, and I don't think I've ever seen a game of it being played on YouTube or anything like that, so I'm not exactly sure how it is. But this looks like one of those big, humongous, 3 billion miniatures type games that will take up...
Yes, it is.
That will take up the entirety of my gaming table space and doubled.
Yeah, it is. That's what I was going to say. It doesn't surprise me you haven't played this because from what I've seen and what I've watched of this being played, yeah, it needs a lot of space. And I know you tend not to play games that are like a big table space game. You tend to like the smaller space games. So it doesn't surprise me you haven't played Mage Knight. But I'll have to check this out. Maybe I'll talk my friend into buying it. Hint. He listens. He knows who I'm talking about. Just saying.
Then let's head in to see what's on the screen, where Ubisoft announces Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
What an original name. It's a sequel to The Division, so we'll call it The Division 2.
So they're dividing it by 2.
Sure. Yeah, this was kind of been rumored for a little while, but Ubisoft did finally make it official. Tom Clancy's The Division 2 will be coming soon, and it is developed by the original studio that did the first game, but don't have any fear that the original Division is going to go away, because they said they have plans for it as well. But regarding the Division 2, we're going to get more information at E3, which is coming up in just a few weeks. And the game is not expected to be ready until sometimes later in 2019. So don't get your hopes up of playing it right away.
Later in 2019.
So you got about a year to wait at least, but in a few weeks at E3, we'll find out some more information on it. But as I said, fans of the original should be excited because Ubisoft said the Division will continue. After the celebration of our 2-year anniversary, we will support the original game with 2 more title updates. There will be 2 brand new global events, including more legendary difficulty missions, and an Xbox One update that will rediscover the beautiful and emblematic New York City in all of its stunning detail in glorious 4K and 1080p. So the Division's getting some updates, and the Division 2 is coming.
This seems to be a day with a great number of announcements. Are they trying to make up for the quiet for the last couple of months?
Apparently they are. Because here, all of a sudden, I've been getting like press releases left and right, and I'm like, slow down, people. Slow your roll down with your press announcements here. Let's not get crazy.
And Funcom has announced that they are releasing Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden.
Yes, and this is from a game company that I love the name of the game company that is developing this. It is a Swedish developer by the title of The Bearded Ladies Consulting.
Okay.
Not very Swedish, but an awesome name nonetheless. And of course, it's going to be published by Funcom. And this, yeah, exactly. This is based upon the action strategy RPG Mutant Year Zero. So if you've ever played that pen and paper RPG, you know what you're going to get. It's mutants running around in a post-apocalyptic world. You know, it's the story we played over and over and over.
Hold on. I do wonder, though, about a mutant with a duck head.
Hey, it's not just a mutant with a duck head. It's a mutant with a duck head and a shotgun.
Oh, you're saying it becomes cooler with a shotgun?
Of course.
Okay.
Just like the pig with the gun. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but he's a boar.
Well, okay. Yeah, there's going to be 3 main characters that we know about so far, and one of them is a human, and they did say the human has a power to transform into something. The teaser trailer didn't really say what the human does, but the other 2, of course, is a duck and a boar. So we can, do the joke. A human, a boar, and a duck walk into a bar. And if you watch the teaser trailer, you know why I just made that joke. Because a human, a duck, and a boar walks into a bar. But anyway, spoilers.
Spoilers from the teaser. Okay.
That's right. So yeah, once again, not much is known about this either. They're going to, once again, at E3 in a couple weeks, announce more on this title. But it's kind of a combination of, say, take Fallout, throw it on top of XCOM, and that's pretty much what you have. It's an action-based tile game, but what's a little different is when you're out exploring the wasteland, that's going to be free movement. So you're not stuck to a grid. Then once you enter combat, that's when you have your grid-based action combat like XCOM and other games such as that. So it's kind of a conglomeration of a couple of different games, but it looks kind of cool. I know there's a lot of people that like the RPG this is based off of, so one to watch out for. Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden.
Then let's head into our week in gaming. And Drac, what were you up to?
Absolutely nothing.
What?
Other than what I did with you. Yeah, I had a really bad, weird week. I got sick. I had some other stuff going on. So yeah, this was just like a bad week. So yeah, the only gameplay I had whatsoever was what I did with you Wednesday night that we Twitch. So you can go watch a Twitch video if you want to see that. But we did Giant Hold. We did a Cabal for One, Feast or Famine, and the Foundations of Discord. So this Wednesday, I'm assuming we'll go ahead and do more Giant Hold.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, you probably are not going to see the Crucible. Spoiler for everybody that maybe
that was
gonna watch
to see us do it.
It's really cool because if you didn't know, in the saga, VIPs can skip one quest. Guess which quest I always skip?
Does it have the same name as an Arthur Miller play?
Exactly. Spoiler, it's the Crucible. So yeah, we'll be doing more Giant Hold, and I do plan on twitching that as well. So for the foreseeable future, I think that is going to be the only set schedule I'm going to put on my Twitch channel is Wednesday nights from 8 to 10. It's going to be Wednesday night DDO because that's when Pine Leaf and I play. So other than that, my Twitch channel is going to kind of be, whenever I feel like streaming and whatever I feel like streaming. So, but other than that, yeah, like I said, I didn't do any other gaming at all, unfortunately. Watched a lot of TV though, but that's really not weekend gaming. But that's really all I did because, like I said, I was sick to where I was in bed sick for like 2 days. I couldn't hardly get out of bed. So yeah, it wasn't fun, and I'm still not exactly 100% back yet. And then I have some other issues going on that I'm dealing with health-wise too. So yeah, it's just been an interesting week. So hopefully you have a ton to talk about that you did so you can redeem our week in gaming.
I'm afraid not.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, it was the week where Lotro released the Northern Kingdoms, or as I would like to call them, the Mists of Mirkwood.
That's awesome. The Mists of Mirkwood. I like it.
Yeah, so I was spending a great deal of time up in the Northern Kingdoms playing Lotro, which of course naturally cut into my time for other things. So therefore the only thing I did in DDO was what you just talked about.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Yes. I did, though, spend also a bit of time in Minecraft, probably a little bit too much time there, which probably also ate up into potential DDO time, where I completed the second dungeon level from the Temple of Elemental Pine, finally. So that means now I've got level 1 and level 2 complete.
So did you include everybody's favorite Zuggedmoy in there?
Well, Zuggedmoy isn't level 2. Zuggedmoy is...
Well, I guess it depends what you consider
level 2. I kind of level 2. Well, Zuggedmoy is in part 2, which is somewhere around level 5 or 6.
Oh, I see. So you're not... Okay, so you're... Okay, I see what you're considering level 1, 2. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I'm on the same page with you now. Okay.
Now, what I'm going to do with Zuggedmoy is that I'm going to be using half the version of level 3 that is from the original module rather than the level of version 3 that they have in DDO, because I noticed the DDO departed quite a bit on how they did level 3 compared to the original module.
Right, yeah.
And what I'm thinking of doing is doing the northern part of level 3 and turn it very fungusy, and have that then connect to level 4 in a way that I'm going to have it come down and have that section somehow connect to level 4 rather than the back half of there, and use that for my level 4, because of course I've got to include the Grand Temple that's in level 4 on there. But right now I'm doing the northern part of level 3 because I think the southern part of level 3 just looks same-ish and very busy. And there have been a couple of parts on there where I felt that what's in the original module is too busy, because you know how dungeons are from that time period. So therefore I've made a couple of cuts here and there in order to make it a little bit cleaner, since I figured, what would someone logical build here?
So you're making it your own, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yes, there are a couple of places where I do make my thing, that I make things a little bit my own on there. But I did finish level 2 of it, and I'm quite happy with that. And that means it's soon time to get into level 3, which I'm sure is going to be a little interesting in there. We'll have to see. Also, in Tabletop, I played the One Deck Dungeon app. I played a little bit more with that, and they just released an update that included the ability to play 2 heroes, so you could play the 2-hero version of the game. And I've never played the 2-hero version of the game with the cards. I've always played it single character before, so I thought, okay, I've got the app here to lay things out, so I'll try the 2-hero version. And of course, it was a challenge because I was trying to get used to playing it with 2 heroes instead of 1. And actually, I was doing pretty good for a while until I decided to push my luck one time too many. I decided to go against the Phantom, which is one that throws out all the ones and threes you roll. And when you consider that how far I had gotten into that dungeon and that the low percentage of ones that I had been rolling so far, that I was due to roll a lot of ones with one of these monsters at some point.
Gotcha.
And of course, that's the monster where I did it. And it was like I had virtually nothing left after that. And that one, actually, I did post a YouTube video showing that game and trying it out with the monster and rogue. But I do find it strange how I feel that some players seem to have selective memories on stuff. Because I was watching one YouTuber who was doing a round of it, and he was complaining all the ones he was getting. I said, this seems to be about average on ones. I said, I had no right to complain about the number of ones I was getting in there because because the rogue has this ability where you roll a heroic die for absolutely no cost, but if you roll a 1, you take damage.
Oh, okay.
And I went 10 turns using that virtually every turn, and it took me until the 10th turn before I finally rolled a 1. It's hard to complain about rolling a 1 when rolling too many ones when you had a very good streak at the beginning where, well, you weren't rolling any. We currently have 18 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help us on DDO Players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or you can be a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. And we have a featured comment this week from Mock Taskmaster. What did he say?
Mock says, I never get to listen live, but I always make sure to listen as soon as the podcast is released into the wild. Keep up the excellent work, guys. I do have some clarifications, as I know them, for the new Batman Gotham City Chronicles Kickstarter, which we talked about last week in the show. If you have not listened to that show, you're kind of confused right now. Mock says, the game is closely based on the last Conan board game, which Monolith also kickstarted back in 2015, and he thinks he received his in last July.
It took a few years, yes.
Yeah, it did. But they did get it out. The Batman game is a one versus many style game where there is an overlord type player who controls all of the bad guys, and then the other players, one or more, control the heroes and try to win scenarios. There is an optional buy-in to add on the versus mode at $35, which then turns the game into a 1v1 skirmish style game. But evidently, you must have that add-on in order to play the game in that style. So I was incorrect. I said it was a co-op game, and it's not a co-op game. It is like a one versus many overlord style game.
Okay. Until the app comes out, you mean?
Well, yeah, I'm going to say, I'm sure there'll be an app. I don't know. They haven't made one for the Conan, but I guess we'll see.
Oh, okay. Oh, so Conan works the same way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then Mox says, it has me very tempted. Being a truly Kickstarter exclusive means it will never see retail. So you either buy now or you spend a fortune on the secondary market like eBay. Their reasoning is pretty sound as to why it's only going to be on Kickstarter, based on the last game having to sell at a loss due to distributors to get it to the retailers at the same price point as people who would be willing to buy it in the store versus the Kickstarter. So thanks for the clarification, Mox. So yes, so Batman is not a co-op game. It is a one versus many Overlord style game. You can buy the add-on. That'll make it a 1v1 skirmish type game if you want. And the Kickstarter is making like a gazillion dollars.
Wonderful. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAllied, DDO Players @DDO Players, Draculetta @Dracula_72, and Pineath @Pineath Needles. The Players Alliance has 4 shows. Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Loto Players News. Every other Thursday at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have XP Quest. And on the first Tuesday of each month at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Chromatic Bits. You can choose our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pilot Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.